Hi friends, it's Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scudig or St. Croix River, the traditional territory of the Passamaquoddy. And I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today, I'm doing my new catalog party, and not just new catalog items, but online exclusives are out now. New kits are out. A new product of the month is out, and it's a stamp set for just $5. All kinds of new things today. So I want to give you a glimpse at some of those right now. So let's get right to it. So here is the new catalog, the new spring catalog. All kinds of fun things in here. We've got Easter, we've got Valentine's Day, we've got spring, we've got cards for guys, we've got all kinds of new papers and ribbons and embellishments, all kinds of great stuff. And I did want to mention specifically the product of the month. So the product of the month is something that you can earn with your $100 order every month to be able to purchase for just $5. So it's a real steal. Last month in December was the very first one, and it was a paper pack, which was beautiful. And this month it is a sentiment stamp set. So it's going to be a very, very useful one to have. So that's something to mention. And when you do buy the product of the month, maybe I'll keep that open so you can see it again. When you do buy the product of the month and spend that $100 with me, what I will do is I will send you a free tutorial bundle with a whole bunch of tutorials using the product of the month. And that will be available at the end of the month. I'm in a group with a number of demonstrators from around the world, and we're just starting up this month. So it's a great month to get in on it, and I can't wait to show you all the projects that we're going to be making. All right, so let's go on, and I will show you some of the new items that there are. We're going to make 3 different projects today. So here is our first project. This is the one we're going to make, and I will show you another one that's very much like it. So it's the same exact design, just different papers. So you can see I changed the color of this square in behind and this label here as well. And the rest of it, it's all really the same exact design, same paper pack and everything. This is a brand new paper that is available, and it is called Love Notes. So it's perfect for Valentine's Day. You can see how cute it is. It's got these little tag bits in it as well. And these are super easy to use. That's what I've used on here is more of these. There's other pages of them as well. And some have words, some do not. I'll just show you the other side of these papers as well. And it's a beautiful paper pack. So again, that's called Love Notes. And I'm going to make this card with you today using our brand new items. So when you place an order with me of $75 or more in the next week, let me see that I forgot to calculate the date. So the date would take us to the end of the 13th of January. So if you place an order of $75 or more with me by the end of the 13th of January, I will send you the paper packs here, or the card packets rather, with all the pieces pre-cut to make all 3 projects that I'm going to show you today. I'll even throw in the shipping for those card packets, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So that's a $75 order or more. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. Let's pull out our pieces here. So I want the one to stamp. This is an easy stamping card. And we're just going to stamp on here. And you'll see the die cuts that I've got today, the squares and these chevron shaped labels, they are all made with the Stylish Shapes dies. They've been out for quite a while. They're one of my favorite die sets. I use them all the time. And the bundle that we're using today is called Valentine Kisses. Isn't it cute? With all these little bears and so on. And all we're going to be using today, though, is just the Happy Valentine's Day. That's all we're going to need. So let's take it out. And these are the new packaging for the stamp sets and dies. They're flat, so it's really easy to keep track of them and store them. Let's see, so I'm just going to pick that up, and we're going to stamp it in red. I'm going to use Real Red, that's my ink. And we're just going to quickly stamp that. And I'd love to know where you're watching from today. And what's your favorite that you see in the new catalog? If you haven't seen the new catalog yet, what's your favorite of the projects that I'm going to show you today? I'd love to know. So here we go. So very simple, easy as that. Our stamping is all done. I'm just going to clean up my stamp right there. I'll put it away later so we don't waste time on the video. And we'll close up our stamp pad. And now we can put together all the pieces. So let's just get them all out of our little envelope here. And I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to fold it over. I've already pre-scored it, so I'm just going to take my bone folder here and give it a nice crisp fold. And then that is all done. So we're going to take our paper, which is from that Love Notes set. You could use either color, actually. It doesn't matter, either side. But I'm going to, oops, I'm going to use the blue side because it kind of goes with my color here today. And I decided to go with blues and purples instead of the traditional pinks and reds because not everybody's a fan of pink. I know my daughter does not like pink. And there's some of her friends that don't really like pink either. People tend to kind of love it or hate it. And so I'm happy to make something in a different color scheme. So we're going to take this, and this die cut is from that Love Notes paper. It's one of those little squares that I cut out. And I use stylish shapes to make these two things here. Here they are. All right, and we're going to glue this on as well. And I'm just using Stampin' Seal. Now, Stampin' Seal, it is out of stock right now while they get some more in with Stampin' Up. But do make sure that you use really good adhesives. I wouldn't buy them cheap because the cheap ones fall apart. I've received cards different times that fell apart almost right away because people use cheap adhesive. So I get all my adhesives from Stampin' Up, and I'm confident that they'll be good. Another good way to go would be their glue dots, or I'm just rummaging over here. This is called Terran tape. So I might show you that on something so you can see how that works. And it's another dry glue, so it works really well with pretty much everything. All right, so we're going to flip these over. We're going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on them. So that's these little hexagons here. I love these things. They work so well, and they stick really well. You can even use the edges here, which is great. I love that about them, that you can use every single millimeter of the product. So that's a real positive. There we go. So I'm going to move some of my tools out of the way here so we don't have a messy space. All right. Let's see. So we're going to put that on there and stick that down. Then I'm going to take this. We're going to stick that down too. All right. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to add a little bit of ribbon. You can see that I added just a little touch of ribbon over here. It's a brand new ribbon. It's balmy blue, and it is called gingham ribbon. It's 1/4 inch in width. So how I like to do that when I make ribbon bits is I tie it right on the spool. So I'm just going to tie this right on the spool, and you end up wasting a lot less. You can kind of figure out how big your piece of ribbon needs to be and then cut it accordingly. Let's try to cut those sort of equal. And look, I didn't waste any by tying it right on this spool. So that's what I always advise people to do, is tie right on the spool. All right. And we're going to put that on as well. And I should say too, after I get this done today, the video, I will make a blog post where I'll have a full supply list for all of the items you see me using here on my cards. And then you can consult that afterward as well. So it'll take me probably until the end of today to get that up there, but then it'll be available for you. If you're watching this on replay, it should already be there, so no worries. So I'm using some new embellishments. These are Sparkle Dot Essentials, they're called. And they come in these beautiful colors. Look at all the lovely colors. So very, very versatile colors. So you could use the green. This is Garden Green, or you could use Pretty in Pink. What do you think? If anybody's watching and wants to comment, what do you think? This one, I put the green. Do you think we should do green again, or should we do the pink? Yeah, maybe think about that for a sec, and you can let me know what you think. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this piece of paper that was just a scrap when I was cutting for the front of my card, and I'm going to adhere that inside my card. So in my sample card here, this is what I did. I just put it at the bottom. You could put it at the top if you wanted, and that would look nice too, but I think I'll go with the bottom again. And we're going to just demonstrate this tear and tape so you can see how it works. So it's a double-sided tape that comes in this giant roll, and you just put it down, and I'm holding with my thumb there on the end, and then I'm going to pull with my right hand, and it just rips. So it's literally tear and tape, just like the name says. So we're just going to tear that as well. And this one, let's see, so we're going to just pull off the adhesive backing. If you have trouble getting the adhesive backing off this or any other item, try this Take Your Pick tool that you get from Stampin' Up, and you can use it to lift up the adhesive backing like I just did there. So it can make your life a lot easier and get rid of a lot of frustration that way. So I recommend that tool. So it's the Take Your Pick tool, and it is useful for all kinds of things. Poking out little die cut pieces with this pokey end. It's not that sharp either though. Or you can use this end here. This has got a little too much right now, but you can use the putty end to just pick up tiny, tiny little embellishments. These ones I think I can do, but if you have really super tiny ones, it works great on them. All right. So anybody got a preference? What do you think? Should I use green or should I use pink here? I don't know. Well, let me see. Maybe since I used green on this one, I'll use pink on this one, just for sake of doing something a little different. I think that'll work. So we'll put the pink up here, and I'm just going to put the other pink one right there. And then we're going to take a large one, and we're going to put it slightly underneath our label right there. How about that? So there it is. There is our card number one. Very, very simple. All right, so that's the first project we're going to do today. And then we will go on to the next one. So here's our next one. This is going to be an Easter card, and this uses the brand new Easter basket stamp set. You can see here with all the cute little bunnies, Happy Easter, and all kinds of things there. There's also Hello Spring, which is great, or just for you if you don't want it for Easter and you just want to use these little bunnies. This is the die set that comes as part of the bundle. And one thing I wanted to point out with this is the Easter basket. So see how the die cut is an Easter basket? These little die cuts here, you cut them out in different colors and you weave them through the Easter basket to make it look like a real Easter basket that you'd see in the spring. So it's very cute. We're not going to do that today. We're going to keep it a lot simpler than that. And we are going to do a little technique here on our crumb cake card base. So I am going to just give it a nice crisp fold there. And I'll just grab a scrap paper because I do need that. Okay, here's my scrap paper. And we are going to stamp this little bunny with the Pretty in Pink ink pad in the background. So I'll show you how to do that. It's actually a really easy technique to do, but it makes a huge difference in your project. So let's take these out. Oh, Ruby thinks both look great. Okay, good. I'm glad that you like the pink as well as the green. I think both of them work really well. That's one thing I like about Stampin' Up! Is all of its things coordinate so nicely that you can use lots of different colors and make them work out really, really well. Oops, I got something on there. There we go. So this is the little bunny I'm going to use, but you could use whatever you like. You could use this little flower, you could use the egg, the chick, flowers, different bunny, doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is take our Pretty in Pink ink pad, and we are going to just stamp this little guy. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to stamp off the edge like that. And I'm going to rotate it every time I do. Just so it looks kind of more realistic. Let's see, let's put this one upside down. And this one can be right side up again. So we're just going to keep doing that over and over again. Now this is a stamp set that you could color in all of the little guys if you wanted, but I don't know, I've come to really like this kind of technique where you just do the outline, and I don't mind coloring, but I just find it gives it a different look if you're putting it this way, just all in one color instead. It gives it a nice clean look. And I know not everybody likes to color either, so this is a great way to use your stamp set without actually coloring. All right, let's see what we can do next. Let's try to fill in these last two here. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I put it all around the exterior. Now you see how I have placed my paper pieces on there at kind of a jaunty angle. Let's look at that and we will see if it's going to work or if I need to stamp a little more. So here are my papers that I've already cut. So this is from the Easter Joy paper, and I'll show you some more patterns from that later, but it does have this beautiful foil to it. So this is kind of a copper colored foil here, and then there's gold foil down here if you can see the shine there. It's very pretty, all kinds of colors that match everything pretty much. So if I put this at an angle and put this one at another angle, really, my background's going to look pretty full already by just doing around the edge there. You could fill it in a little here or here if you want, and maybe I will just to show the difference there. So I'll put that one there. It's really just in the corners that you would notice that, I think. Let's see. I think the rest will be pretty straightforward. So let's look. Yeah, that looks a little better, I think. Fills it in a little bit. So we're going to put one this way and one the other way. So tilt one way and one the other. But let's move our ink out of the way first so we don't have an ink disaster here. And I'm going to just clean up my stamp right now so that it's not in the way. There we go. All right. So let's take our tear and tape. Since I like this tear and tape so much, let's use it on here. It's super sticky, so you really don't need a lot of it, and it'll hold it down very nicely. Okay, so there we go. So what's your favorite adhesive to use if you're watching today or on replay? I'd love to know. Do you like tear and tape? Do you like glue dots? Do you like dimensionals? What's your favorite one to use? I started out liking the Stampin' Seal the best, and I still really like it, but I've come to really like tear and tape a lot too. I find it's a really nice one. And in case you're just joining me right now, just a reminder that if you place your order with me for $75 or more before tax and shipping and after rewards, by the end of the 13th of January, you will get the 3 card packets to make these 3 cards absolutely free. And I will mail them to your house if you don't live locally, so that's no problem. And then you get to try out some of these new products that were just released on January 6th. So it's one of the biggest days of the year. We kind of have 3 biggest days of the year when we have a new catalog and other products coming out, and this was one of them, January 6th. All right, so let's see. We need a few more little things here. So that's the rest of what we need for this card. So I'm going to move my scrap paper because we don't really need that now. And we are going to fill in the rest of the card. It's already got lots going on there without much effort, actually. So next we're going to take our little piece here and we're going to stamp Happy Easter. So let's just move that one out of the way and we will get our Happy Easter stamp out and stamp that on. So this is a long stamp, so I like to put it just on my mat so that I can see it, I can read it. It's right side up and not backwards or anything. And then I'm going to pick it up with my block so that it doesn't kind of arc in a certain direction. Since the photopolymer is so pliable, it can kind of make a little arc going on. And I want it to be just straight for this. So that's the best way I've found to pick them up. All right, so let's see. There we go. So we got our Happy Easter all done there. And I'm just going to clean up my stamp right here. And we'll put back our Happy Easter stamp into our stamp set. Right down there. And the next one we want is this little bunny. So we're going to get the little bunny out. And you've got 2 bunnies to choose from. Either one would be really great. It would work. I'm just going to use the one I did before. And I'm going to stamp this little guy in crumb cake. And you'll see that my stamp pad looks a little different from the ones I've been using. It's because this stamp pad I've had for quite a long time before they came out with this new design. It's still got the foam pad inside, but it's just a little bit of a different shape and size. But it works great, so I just keep using it. All right, so let's give this some good inking. And we'll just stamp the little bunny on here. Oh, look at that. Easy as that, you get a very cute little bunny. And again, you could color it if you wanted, but I don't think it needs it. I think it'll be perfectly nice just like that. So let's put our stamp back in our stamp set. Maybe at the same time we'll put away our Valentine. Oops, not Valentine. I'll put away our little bunny here. Let's make sure it's absolutely clean before putting it away. And then the blocks will be ready for whatever else we need. Okay, so there's our whole stamp set. And I'll just put that away for now. And next, what we need to do is cut out our little bunny. So you could just do that with scissors if you don't have the dies, but I do have the dies, and so I'm going to just pull out my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, and very quickly we will die cut that. So here's my plates, put the little bunny on, and then here's my die set. And we need this die. So I'll just kind of arrange it so that it's over top of the little bunny as best I can. Okay, see if I can get it on there nicely. That looks pretty good. And you can put a little washi tape on there if you want to hold it down. I'm going to see if I can just hold it in place. But washi tape works great because it's a low tack tape. Probably painter's tape would work too if you don't have washi. I haven't tried it, but I would guess it would probably work. Be worth a try anyway. So here's our little mini machine. And put our plates away. And here's our little bunny. So easy as that. We've got it all cut out and very nicely cut out as well. Okay, so that's done. So the next bit is just to put the rest of this together. So it's really simple from here on out. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of our little bunny and on the back of our little label here with the sentiment on. So we can put those on. And I've got these little tiny pieces left, which are just about perfect for the bunny's ears. So we're just going to cut some of those out and use little bits. I love these bits that are left over because they do work so well on things like this. And why not use them? All right. Maybe one more little piece. These are kind of odd shapes, so I don't want to leave out anything important here. There we go, that should work. So we're going to take our little backings off here, and then we will add this little bunny on. Okay, so here we go. So what occasion is everybody looking forward to making cards for? Would it be Valentine's Day? Would it be Mother's Day? Would it be Father's Day? Maybe just birthdays? Spring graduations, maybe? Like, what are you looking forward to? Easter, like I'm making right now? Oops, didn't mean to put that down. Here, we'll lift that up. Maybe we'll lift that up. They stick very hard, as I've said before. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this straight here. I think if I put it right there, I'll be good. Yeah, that's pretty straight. And we're going to use these cool new embellishments. Look, you see these little Easter eggs? They're little gingham Easter eggs. So these are called Easter Assortment. Part of the brand new Easter suite that is out. I'm just going to open them up. And it does come with some little balmy blue, and those might be lemon lolly. They look like it. Possibly daffodil delight, but they look kind of lemony to me. So we're just going to put a little Easter egg there, and a little Easter egg over there. And that's what our card looks like. Isn't that cute? So very simple, pretty easy to put together. And next, we're going to try yet another set of new items. These ones, I saw them and I really, really liked them right away. It's Boardwalk Fun. So this just reminded me of our time in Curacao when we went for a big anniversary in 2024. It just made me think of going to palm trees and water parks and amusement places and all kinds of wonderful things. So I really like this set. So on the left here is the stamp set. And you've got this big roller coaster and palm trees and all kinds of nice sentiments. Enjoy the ride, happy birthday, hey sunshine, and celebrate. So very useful ones. And then on the right, you have the die cuts. So you got a Ferris wheel. You've got little things to add to the roller coaster. You've got little stars and things, kind of almost like mid-century modern look to them. And then you've got also the palm trees and this little ticket, and I'll show you that in just a couple of minutes as well. So this card is going to be pretty simple. So I should show you the paper first before I get into that. Oh, and before I do, I forgot to show you the rest of the Easter Joy paper. So it has, like I said, gold and copper foil. Oh, and this one has green foil too, which is also cool. You can see the little shiny green bits. So this is Easter Joy. Some of the patterns from Easter Joy, really, really pretty. So nice. And then they've got these super easy scenes to put together. So you could really easily make a card out of that in a hurry. And then this one, which I think is very handsome, very pretty. On the back, it's got monochromatic, different and pastel kind of patterns. So much more subtle and also useful. And that's a really cute one with the Easter bunnies and baskets. So that's the Easter Joy paper. But now we've moved on to Beach Boardwalk and Boardwalk Fun. So this water one I think is very nice. Here's some with the amusement park items. This one's interesting. It's got all these tickets. And look, the dies cut them out exactly. So that's really cool. And then it even makes these little perforations in the edges for you, which makes them look official, like real tickets. So I think that's very cool. There's this one, that's kind of clouds. And this one we're going to use today. Then we're going to flip them over and have a look at the other side. So that's really pretty. Very celebratory looking. And there's that green one again. And that one as well. This is very pretty. And that's pretty much it. So lots of nice patterns there. And I'm just going to move those. And also I should say the some of the amusement park items like the Ferris wheel should work with the dies as well to be cut out with those. So this one is a very simple stamping card. And we're going to get this all ready. Oh, I see some people have sent me comments here. So Ruby says she's working on thank you notes, getting ready for coldest night of the year. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So some wintry things would still be good for that too. And Linda says Valentine and birthday. Yeah, always good to have some birthday cards around. And Valentine's is just so much fun to work on. So let's do our stamping first here. I think before I do anything else, I'm going to use my hole punch. This is just a little 1/8 of an inch hole punch. This is the only thing you'll see today that's not from Stampin' Up. This is just a regular hole punch from the store. I've had it for years and years, and I'm just putting a little hole in the edge there to make a tag. All right, and we're going to use Secret C as our color here today. All right, so we need Happy Birthday for this one. Or you could use Celebrate, that would work too, but I'm going to go with Birthday. And let's see. Happy Birthday, here it is. And I like that this set has multiple sentiments. So Happy Birthday is pretty straightforward. Then we've got Celebrate, which could be for a number of occasions. Enjoy the Ride, which is also cool. And then we've got Hello Sunshine, and that could be really for almost any occasion you can think of. So that's a nice one to have as well to use. All right, so I'm going to just kind of stamp it more toward the left than the right because I want to cut a chevron shape in the right. All right, let's see, how did it turn out? Oh yeah, perfect. I love this ink color Secret C. It's kind of a mixture of a deep blue, kind of like Night of Navy almost, but with a bit of gray in it. And so it's just this very handsome color that works extremely well and is very clear on sentiments like you see there, but it doesn't have the heaviness of a straight up black. And so I really like this color. So again, this one is Secret C. Yeah, very nice. And this is the paper. So I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it does have that blue-gray sense to it, and it's just a gorgeous color. All right, so let's do our cutting here. So to cut our chevron shape, we're just going to cut into the middle. So you can see there's my line that I cut. I could cut a little more, actually. That'd be all right. And we'll cut in from each edge just to the middle. And it doesn't matter if it's exactly even or not. Really, trust me on this, it doesn't. As long as you just meet in the middle there, it'll look super nice. Look how nice that is. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and I hope you won't be discouraged if it isn't. We're going to use a brand new ribbon here as well. So this is, again, Secret C, and it's this beautiful see-through ribbon. And it's called Secret C Bordered Open Weave Ribbon. So that's brand new. We're going to put this ribbon through the hole. It is a very small hole, so sometimes that is the biggest, the biggest challenge with a card like this. But I do like using the very small hole punch because I find the bigger the hole punch, the more gaping the hole looks, and this nice small hole looks much better than a great big one. I find it does anyways, so I like to do it that way. All right, let's cut this off just a little so we can get any fraying off the end. And let's see. So maybe sort of like that. And then we've got our two ends all cut nicely. There, so that looks pretty good. So again, that was the Secret Sea bordered open weave ribbon. So very nice. All right, so we've got all the heavy lifting done now. So we're going to take our paper from the Beach Boardwalk. We're going to use, I think I'll use the tear and tape again because I just find this such useful stuff. And it's not expensive either. You get this humongous roll because I just opened this recently and I think it's around $10, something like that. So it's a really good price. All right, so we will take the backing off there. And then, oops, we will add this to our paper. And then we're almost done actually. There's very little to do on this particular card because the paper does most of the work for us. And I like that. So we've got that. And then I'm going to use this card base, which is Petal Pink. It's really more of a pale peach color, but it's called Petal Pink. And I like this Petal Pink. I find it a super useful color on so many things. All right, and then we're going to use all of our little dimensionals here. I need to get another sheet out. Here we go. So I like to put 4 at the corners for a big panel like this and 1 in the middle, simply because the post office machines sometimes push down on things in the mail and it can make kind of a dip in the middle of your card and make it look a little weird. So I like it to arrive intact with all of it popped up, not just the corners. All right, so I'm trying to see if I got that sort of straight and centered there. Doesn't have to be perfect, that's all right. And then we'll put some more of those dimensionals on here. So 1, 2, 3, and then you can put that on our card. Where do I want that exactly? Sort of like that. You can kind of decide where you want it on the card. It could be up, down, in the middle. It just depends on what your personal taste is. And then there's just one more bit to add, and we're going to use these new embellishments, which are pearlized faceted circles. So these are nice. These, I believe, are in Petal Pink and white, and this is, I think, Calypso Coral. And they have this kind of pearlized iridescent sheen to them, so they're very pretty. So really any of these would go. It doesn't really matter which ones you use. But I think I'll go with the Petal Pink, and I'm going to use my tool here, my Take Your Pick, so I can show you how to pick these up. So the big ones I can pick up, but these tiny ones are a challenge. So I press down with the putty and push it along, and it just picks it up. And now you can place it anywhere you want. So it's like this magic thing. It's so much easier than fighting with them yourself. I find it is anyway. And these ones I find are not too bad, so I generally can move those myself. But those little ones are a challenge. So there's that card. So I will bring back my 3 cards if I can find them here. So there's one card, there's the second card, and that's the third card, well, the one we started with. And these are the 3 card packets you'll receive if you place an order of $75 or more with me by the end of January 13th. And by the way, if your order is $100 or more, you'll be eligible to pick up the product of the month, which is a stamp set this month. So really good deal with some very nice sentiments for just $5 in your order when you place it. If you need help with any of that, or you'd like me to place your order for you, just let me know. I'm happy to help in any way I can. And if you'd like to join my Creative Cafe team, you'd be most welcome as well, and I'd be happy to explain that for you. So thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoy the new catalog and all of the cool stuff in it. And you can look forward to spring. It's not that far off after all. All right, bye for now. Have a wonderfully crafty week. See you later.